This episode is brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Welcome back to another edition of Unplugged. The NBA season has come to an end. Again, shout out to OKC. Man, we've had the draft since we last sat down. Free agency is on the way. So the one thing I love about the NBA, and I think what's helped its growth over the last handful of years, it's almost like, and I said it's almost like a reality TV show once the season ends. There's so much movement and talk, and we still steal headlines from other sports that the fun has just begun. I know there's going to be a lot of movement. Already KD to the Rockets. Love it. There's going to be more explosive movement, as Sham said a couple weeks ago, but I'm excited for that. Free agency officially starts, Nate. It used to be July 1st. Now it's the 6th. Yeah. I remember a quick story. My last year in Clippers, when we let Houston come back 3-1, me and Doc almost fought in the playoffs because he was on some bullshit. And when I tell you I got traded, is tomorrow the 1st?
Tomorrow's July 1st, yes, sir.
So I got traded tonight in 2015, 10 years ago tonight at like 12:02 a.m. I was the first motherfucker out of there. Gone. Me for Lance Stevenson. And then Lance ended up in motherfucking Memphis with me later that season. It was crazy. I was pissed. But anyway, Geno, the neighborhood hater.
We're back. That's not my name anymore, bro.
No, you keep trying to say people don't call you that, but they still do.
LA's finest. Anyway.
Oh,
whatever,
LA's
bro.
finest.
Yes, come on, you guys. Come on.
How you been, man?
I'm
Off
good,
season,
man.
It's starting to move a little bit. Bron, for the first time, opted into his second year. I know there's a lot of pressure on management. Finney Smith may be out. Austin Reaves turns down his 4 for $90. They got him on a bargain. He's going to get a lot more than that. Rich Paul is saying they're going to make every move strategic from here on out, which they need to. Bro's going into year 23. What's going on with the Lakers right now? Where are we at? What's happening? Oh, a center may be on the way. Someone that gave himself his own name, dominating. Deandre Ayton, the former number 1 pick, is rumored to the Lakers. Man, talk to me. I know this shit is definitely raising your blood pressure.
Oh, absolutely. Let me just start with LeBron, man. Like him opting into $52 million. That's unlike him to opt into a last year of his contract, which says a lot to me. Like, it's saying that I feel like he knows Father Time is reaching out on his cell phone to him.
Okay.
You know? And Father Time's been good to me. There's nothing wrong with meeting Father Time.
No.
You know what I mean?
He's been great to him.
Absolutely. But I believe this possibly is last year. We hope. You know what I mean? I respect LeBron.
Last year with the Lakers or last year period?
Last year of his career. I think this is it for him. Like, okay. I don't think he has really any 23 years, man.
It's a lot, bro.
Man. And we're giving him grace to let him do it here. You know, let's just let's move on from LeBron.
Wasn't he an All NBA selection this year? Yeah. Second team?
That's cool.
Second
bro
team?
Is 41 years old. He's going to year 23. Like,
this is how the LA streets feel.
Yes. And Luka is the new sheriff in town. Here.
Okay, I don't think there's an issue with that.
Yeah,
I don't think there's an issue with that. Yeah, you hated Luka.
Yeah, but I'm ready to buy his jersey now. Okay, like that's my guy now. Like we ready to go with Luka.
I respect when you know you're wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. I always come back and say when I'm wrong.
Okay,
bro. Come on now.
Okay,
but I'm happy for LeBron. He's been a great ambassador for the league, for the Lakers. But it is time to move on and let Luka run the show now.
Okay,
we want to win a chip here.
Okay,
you know?
So how can that happen? I mean, obviously you need to address the situation in the middle. They've been soft in the middle for a while. Is Ayton the answer?
I don't think Ayton is the answer, but we'll take him. Okay. Like, we need a big on our team. Can he come here and have a chip on his shoulder and get his career back moving? We hope. You know, can we get him for cheap? You know, that's part of it. But is he the guy for us? Maybe.
How old is he, Nate? How old is Ayton?
Ayton's 26.
So Ayton is entering the prime of his career. Someone who's 26 and has the talent he has, if he can get his mental off the court together, I think he could be very valuable for the Lakers, because what's the alternative? An aging Horford who's touching 40. I like him, but he doesn't necessarily bring that middle. He'll stretch the floor for you, but the Lakers don't. I don't see that. Who else is out there?
Nick Richards, Lopez.
Brooke Lopez is older. Clint Capella had a great run. I think he's a little bit older. So I think Ayton at 26, if they can grab him and LeBron run some game and is just on the mental side, I think he can be a value add. Something you've been adamant about so much, and I was busy this weekend. Every time I peek in the group chat, you're on Austin Reaves.
What can I say, man?
I'm not even going to tell everyone the disrespectful conversation I walked into. How you compared him to a couple other white players.
No, but let's keep it 100.
Crazy.
Let's keep it 100 though.
So what's Austin? What is Austin Reaves to you? Let's keep in mind now. There's times where he was the leading scorer on this team. There's a guy that you can throw the ball to and for sure get a game-winning bucket, hits big shots. Tough as a motherfucker. Maybe not the best on defense, but there's not too many people out there that are really locking up. Like, he has a chance, and I don't know if he'll get this to extend for a 5 for 4, 246. I don't know if he'll get all that, but he'll definitely get more when he hits the market. Your thoughts on him?
Let me just start with AR. I fuck with you. You my guy, man. So don't get it twisted. But I will say this: is he untouchable? That's really how all this shit started.
He has been for the team, and I'm not. I don't know if he is now because I think this team is in a hurry up mode. We need to try to get the best players around Bron. But I really name a better third option that could be a 2. Really, you know what I mean? He could be a very valuable second option because he just doesn't get rattled. He's a fucking dog. I fuck with AR. But what's the deal? He has 1 more year left on his deal.
Turning down $91 million from the Lakers. I mean, that's pretty big shit. We've seen somebody do that.
What's his name?
Schroeder, right?
And it still ain't been the same.
Absolutely. And whether injury or just not able to play at his height to lose money, I mean, this could fall. He could fall on this one, and I don't want to see him do that.
I think barring injury, he'll definitely get more on the open market. I think there's no question about it. Some people are saying close to $200 million. I thought the 160 to 200. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's close to. It may be a team that's not in contention. White stars are valuable. You know what I mean? He is definitely a white star. I say that with all due respect. So it'll be really interesting to see how this season
He is not worth $200 million in a Laker uniform, which is all that I care about, right? So if we're not talking about the Lakers, I'm happy for him to go get that, but you're not getting that here.
I like the way you spun that because you've saying a lot of other disrespectful shit off camera. So I like the way you tightened up.
Why you bringing personal shit in here,
I like the way you tightened up for the camera.
Come on,
I like
man.
the way you tightened up for the camera. I see it. Luka is extension eligible this summer. He can go 4 for 229. But that's a bad business deal. The numbers aren't adding up when you look at what SGA is going to get for his extension. Since going to the Lakers, he lost a lot of money from his original situation. So if he waits, what were we talking about? Maybe a 2 or 3 year deal, sign with the Lakers, and then hit that extension off of that, or hit free agency off of that.
He'll be 10 years served in the league, so you get 35% of the cap.
Yeah, so it's a bump, right?
Max, a 5-year deal.
A 5-year nasty work deal.
I'm sure the team selling the percentage that they sold had something to do with them signing Luka, because I don't know if they were up. I don't know if they knew that Luka was going to sign with us or not, because he's able to just walk away from us.
There's no question.
Right?
I don't think this was a strategic move. I think they only made this move knowing that this is his last stop.
Absolutely, and we have to get Luka on.
No question. Which leads me to new management, new ownership. We're on watch right now because, the Lakers management situation, and I love all of them from Linda to Jeannie. I want to put this out there. Rob, I know Rob through code, but you always hear this kind of like a lot of handshake, buddy stuff kind of running the plays and the calls up there. But with new ownership, who's obviously tied to Magic Johnson, which Magic is tied to Rob in the Commanders deal. Do we smell what the Rock is cooking, or am I crazy to think that Magic could be on his way back to the Lakers at some point with Bob Myers, fellow Bruin, the great mind behind the Golden State Warriors teams, who's sitting at home just collecting checks, looking good on ESPN and ownership and NFL, like. What, as a Laker fan, what would you think?
We'd love to have Magic back, but how are we going to have Magic and Pelinka coexisting together?
They don't.
Yeah. So until they work that problem out, which they just signed Pelinka to a whole bunch of money, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he re-signed, didn't he, Nate? Like he just re-signed a big contract last year.
Did get a contract.
Yeah, absolutely. So how are Magic and Pelinka going to coexist together?
I don't think there is a world.
Coaches and GMs get fired mid-contract though.
Yeah.
A lot. Absolutely.
I know you're almost trying to sound like business wise. I like that about you. But no.
Ready for me to go?
I want to know what
I
don't want to know what the streets are saying though.
No, the streets want Magic back. We know we want Irv back.
What about Bob?
We'd love to have Bob, and we'd love to possibly like we're kind of tired of Pelinka too.
Are you? Is that what the streets are talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because we're behind Irv. Like we love what Irv.
You love
does.
the Magic Man.
Absolutely. And everything he touches moves forward to a chip. Like I can see what he's doing with Washington, with the Dodgers. We deferring a whole lot of money. Like I hope we can defer money here too.
That would be interesting if that ever came into the NBA.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I know guys get paid after they retire, but deferring the bread that the baseball defers is nuts.
Let's find the loophole is all I'm saying. MB, man, speaking of the Lakers, since we on that, man, guys out here talking crazy about Bean right now.
Yeah, man.
Like all of a sudden, it's what they could have done.
I don't like the injury around the energy around it.
Yeah, man. I saw you made a post, man, and it kind of took off, man. What's your feeling on that?
I just don't like because none of this weird talk was going on while he was here. And I also think I want to also say something else. Like, I work for ESPN, I work for Fox, some of these big machines. When you have people talking about the greatness of players, it's not that I don't respect it, I just don't go by it. And I think a lot of former players don't go by it. You got to listen to what your peers are talking about. It's crazy how when you look at ESPN, Kobe's always on the outside of 10. But when you there's plenty of clips on YouTube when you're talking to some of the guys that went to war before or after or with them, like, Kobe's 2, Kobe's 3, Kobe's top 5. So my whole thing too is don't listen to, there's so many athletes. And again, I'm not saying don't listen to the people outside because there's some very qualified people, but when it comes to like legacy and greatness in a sport, like I would tend to lean towards the players because you see it day in and day out and know what it takes to lace them up every single day and play through what he played through and do what he did. So I say all that to say, like, there's with the bigger companies and machines and talking heads, there's favorites, there's narratives they stick to, there's dislikes they have. And let's keep it real, like before Kobe died, like he was a hit or miss as far as kind of popularity with some of the shit he had been through and the way people perceived his energy at times. So there was already a lot of kind of but I think after he died, like the real one spoke up to speak about his greatness. But I feel like there's a lot of other people that will speak to stir shit up. And it's crazy that it's former players. You know what I mean? So I just said what I said because like none of you guys was talking this shit when he was here. And the coulda, woulda, shoulda, and the disrespect with the Powell shoulda won the fight. Like it's just like, come on, y'all. Like let's really remember. Let's look at the numbers. And we've all been there with him or against him. Like let's keep it real. And obviously this is all opinion based. You know what I mean? Like to me, Kobe is the second greatest player of all time.
Agreed.
Period. Like everyone tries to, for some reason, people want to knock his greatness because he played with Shaq, but they don't knock Magic's greatness when he played with Kareem. They don't knock LeBron's greatness when he played with D Wade and Bosh. They don't knock LeBron's greatness when he played with AD. They knock Kobe's greatness because of Shaq, and he was the Rob. But go look at the fucking numbers. You know what I mean? That doesn't say Robin to me. That just says a more mature, older, fucking dominant Shaq and a bad young motherfucker on his way. That's all it told me. So I was just saying, I actually ran into Shay this weekend too, and she kind of gave me a hug. She's like, I appreciate what. Yeah, we were at a little hotel in OC because the Twins had a tournament out there, and she stopped by because her son was playing out there, and she's just like, what was the noise about my brother? She's like, I caught on late, but thank you. It's just like, and I just told the same thing. I was like, they wasn't talking this weird shit when bro was here. You know what I mean? So it's just like, why talking now for clicks? You know what I mean? If we're debating, like, come on, man, don't be disrespectful if when it happens. So that's why I just kind of said what I said, bro.
Speaking of the Lakers, got some breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
Jordan Clarkson, contract buyout with the Jazz, looking to sign with a playoff contending team. Want him back, Geno?
I like Jordan Clarkson. I think he's a great sixth man.
I liked Jordan Clarkson. I don't know what he's done. I don't know what he's on lately, is all I'm saying.
You mean on or off the court?
On the court. That's all I care. I don't care about off the court, man. Paint your toenails,
He's been solid
whatever.
off the court, right? He's been a bucket in and he's a fucking dog. He might put his hands up the most ready to scrap since me.
Put his hands up but not scrap. Don't get it
It's
twisted.
okay.
Come on,
Come on, man. You can't use that off the bench.
I'm with it. Yeah, if we get him for cheap. Yeah,
for
absolutely.
the low.
Yeah, if we get him for cheap, I'm with it.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Moving on. Malik Beasley has the federales on him. And once the federales are on you, it's a little different than just ESPN or Fox or all the sport smoke saying some shit like them boys is on him. Thoughts. And now all these little videos are coming up of him.
He looks bad in
that
the
motherfucker
videos,
got
too.
a rebound and went game 7 speed and dunked the ball when they was down 9. And
he looked stressed out, too.
He said he looked stressed out. Oh, right before?
Yeah, absolutely. He looked stressed out.
The internet doesn't let you play games. Let's not take away from how instrumental he was. Detroit had him on a nice deal last year, 16 points a game, knocked down a gang of threes. Like, he was looking in possible talks and could still be 3-year, $42 million, to bring him back to Detroit. But this gambling shit, Michael Porter Jr. brother, I forgot his name.
Did he go to jail?
Porter. I don't know, but I mean, he's out like these. I just don't get.
Why?
I don't get it.
Yeah, why do that? Why?
Because you're getting too much money in this game to jeopardize that. I can see if it was back in the day when dudes weren't really making money, you could hit a parlay or whatever the fuck else they call the big licks, and I'd be like, okay, you wouldn't. But dudes are getting bread now.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it'll just come down to him. I bet you a lot.
Think
of
it's
people
moving like
doing,
that
absolutely.
across sports
because it's easy. It's easy work. It's easy to do.
You've seen. I mean, obviously, we're with DraftKings. All these gambling, all this betting is now legal, and it's crazy too. Like, athletes and student athletes are getting death threats now because they're not covering shit and not playing. It's like, it's a crazy world we live in.
I mean, it's a new way, man. It's easy to gamble. You do it from your cell phone now, and you just get caught up in that environment. And I feel bad for them. But, man, you risk your career, man. You're going to have to sit in that. You're going to have to suffer that.
Yeah, man, I hope it's not true. But, again, once the feds are on you, it's a little past speculation. It's like, nigga, we got this.
And don't forget, Twitter and Instagram are going to investigate for it.
Worse. They're probably worse than the feds.
Yeah,
like, you get a woman that's looking for something, boy. Don't fucking play.
Absolutely.
Man, I wish him the best, man. And,
wish you the best,
and
Bees.
anyone else who's involved in that shit, cut that shit out, man, before it's too late. Like, this life and this money and this opportunity is just way too good to risk on that shit.
CP3, man, that's your guy, man.
That's my dog. I was just with him this week too.
Really?
It was the Cali Live out. So all the high school teams. This is high school.
Oh yeah.
In June. So
shout out Lil CP3. I saw you got an offer too, man.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah, I'm not mad at
Lil
Lil CP3.
Yeah.
But speaking of CP3, man, like I don't think he's done, man. Like, how you feel about your boy, man?
I don't think he's done either. But I think he needs to be in California. I think his last handful of years, and obviously being so close with him and the twins and Lil Chris are best friends, and we live right down the street from him. He's missing a lot of time with the family, and I know that's starting to wear on him at this age. What is he? How old is he? 40? Close to 40. Shout out, played all 82 games last year for San Antonio. I'm sure he was a great mentor for them young dudes. But obviously his priority, and let's keep it real, one of the greatest point guards of all time. I hope there's an opportunity for him to get to an LA team first and foremost, but if not, maybe the Kings. They already did the Golden State thing, so I don't think the Golden State thing is going to happen. But hopefully just get him closer to the family. Lil Chris is 16 now and has really developed his game, and his daughter's growing up, and, just the whole family dynamic. And I know for me, when I decided to retire out the blue, like, it was because I was missing the kids so much. You know what I mean? So I just know how hard that shit becomes a job when you're gone half the year and you don't live with It's a lot, man. So
with CP3, like, what young players do you see out there that he should mentor, like Wemby or like Ant, or who you see him mentoring right now?
I mean, it would probably have to obviously be a team that he has a chance to play for. There's rumors that Suns or the Clippers can have a reuniting situation with them. But CP is weird because he's old school. He's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And that's what I was kind of the bridge on that Lob City team with Blake and DJ being so young, and CP kind of give them the cold truth. And sometimes I'd be like, yo, all he's saying is this. So I'm not sure what his leadership is like these days, but when I tell you he's one of the absolute best leaders I've ever played with and been around, and I've been around some great ones. So, man, whatever team, it'll probably be a more mentor type. Obviously, he could still play, but it would be more, if a team brought him in, it would probably be for the mentorship and his ability, to still do his thing and the minutes he has. So I just want him to end the way he wants to end. We're seeing the ends of guys that, I came in with LeBron and CP3 and KD's on the backside and Steph's on the backside. So I think we saw the passing of the torch this past playoffs. Like all young dudes came and ran with that shit and did what the playoffs did. So I want all these guys that are on their last hoorah, KD and Houston to rock out. I want LeBron to figure out his situation. You hear the Knicks could be your room. I want him to rock out wherever the fuck that is and be happy. I definitely want to see P and Steph and again, kind of the guys that deserve it to be able to go out the way they can. Moving forward, the WNBA is expanding to 18 teams over the next, so what's that, 3 new teams over the next 5 years. Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia will all join the league. The growth of the game is beautiful. You're hearing that the game is going to make more money than it's ever made. There's a lot of debate for what reasons, and to me, I don't really even care about the reasons. What I care about is these girls are getting their just due. The money continues to go up. People are starting to appreciate. However you started watching the game, whether it's Caitlin, Angel, you already knew about the game. You only started coming to the game because the hype or the negativity around it. Some really talented women in that league, and I love that it's just they're starting to do their thing. If you think about it, after LeBron, Steph, KD, like name male or female the next biggest athlete.
Has to be Wemby, right?
I think it's gonna be Caitlin Clark.
You think so? I gotta admit, she's a baller. Like she can play. Like she handles the heat. Like they try to punk her constantly, and she just stands up on it.
I would advise her to take boxing classes because I know at some point she might have to throw hands because these girls are doing some outrageous shit to her.
Absolutely.
But she be talking her shit out there too. Like I love it.
But hold on, she has a bodyguard now over there. Like they handling it. Like what's her name, Nate?
Oh yeah, the pretty bronze. Like, I like that. I like that.
And that's why I'm watching. To be honest with you guys, like, I like the smoke in the game now.
Women have a lot, probably more smoke than the men, to be honest with you.
Yes.
But for some reason, when we start finally paying attention, I say we as everyone's kind of watching now, like, oh, it's a big deal. Like, I love that shit. Talk your shit.
Oh, yeah.
Push them. Throw them if you have to. That's part of the game.
Oh, yeah. But they got to I think they have to have more games per season. Like, I think it's time for them to expand their season.
Expanding teams, but it's, they got to capture their window too. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see if they do expand, but I think adding more teams, the growth is inevitable. And, whether that's financially or more games. Shout out to Angel Reese. I know she's been making a lot of noise lately, breaking records left and right. I'm excited. The season has been fun. So, Geno, I appreciate your time, man. I wish you and the Lakers and Geno for the streets the best, and we'll have to follow the news.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt.
What up, y'all? I teamed up with DraftKings, and they got something new cooking for you guys. The Pick 6 Stat Slice just dropped. It's a fresh way to give you a better shot at hitting your picks and cashing out on DraftKings Pick 6. Every Wednesday this summer, Pick 6 slice down one player stat line to give you yet a better shot at hitting your pick. It's the perfect way to try and nail your pick set. There's no opt-in, no catch. It's simple. Just open the app, snag your slice, and lock in. There's a new player every week, but the slice is only hot for a limited time, so you better not sleep on it. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app today for new special customer offers. And while you're doing it, don't forget to use my code SMOKE. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
GMs and teams with bad moves of late, I think there's a bigger magnifying glass on teams now with so much player movement and decisions they make, from Luka to De'Aaron Fox. Teams have done well and teams have done poorly. So we're going to touch on a few of these teams real quick, but I also want to know what you guys think down in the comments. So this is going to be an open discussion. Don't cuss at me because I'm going to cuss back. I'm just going to tell you. You guys be fucking up. They be shadow banning my Instagram now because I have to respond to some of you. No, I'm playing. But GMs in the league, whether we want to say worst, bad moves, management. Let's start with the Bulls. Ran by, how you say that name?
Just say
Arturis. And the GM, Mark Eversley, since 2020. So pretty much 5 years in the front office. 0 top 10 picks, 1 playoff appearance, with 1 win. This is the definition of kind of you're just floating in the middle. So you're not really able to get better. You're good enough to be at that bottom, but not bad enough to be getting valuable picks. They've lost. They recently just traded Alonzo Ball for Okor in Cleveland. They've also lost Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Caruso for Giddey, right?
Yeah, Giddey's a good player.
Yeah, Giddey's solid, but Caruso impacts winning more than Giddey does. So we'll have to see what's going on and how much longer those two gentlemen that are making decisions over in Chicago will be around. But let me know what you guys think.
Matt, could you just speak to what it is in the NBA being in the middle of the pack and how that's like not beneficial? You either want to be great or you want to be terrible.
Yeah, being in and it's messed up too, because that's exactly what Nate just said. You either want to be a really good team or you want to be bad and try to build stock at the bottom and get draft picks and opportunities and be in the lottery. But being right in the middle is just like on you're mediocre, so you don't give yourself a chance to win or advance in the playoffs. And then again, you're not giving yourself a chance to advance through the draft, and that's where Chicago's been sitting for a while. So it's a nasty place to sit. It's been a while since these guys have been good. And that's it's a landmark franchise. It's the house that MJ built. So we're going to have to see how much longer that situation will be going on. Moving on to the Suns, which is a great fan base, one of the best places in the United States to live. Matt Ishbia has came in and taken over ownership, and we know the moves that have been made over the last handful of years with, bringing in KD, bringing in Bradley Beal, his contract, James Jones, who did a very solid job for 7 years, has kind of transitioned to a different office position. Ishbia has brought in Brian Gregory, who was a coach, an assistant coach, doesn't have a ton of, obviously, player management. Maybe that's the wrong word, because when you're a coach, you manage players. Experience as far as GM and moving guys. He was an assistant coach when Ishbia was at Michigan State, so he's keeping that in the family. But it's just going to be interesting to see. Obviously this Bradley Beal situation. I mean, he's got 2 years left on his deal. I don't know if you can buy that out, but I think both sides are unhappy with that. KD broke free and was able to go to Houston. And I feel bad for Book, because Book is a loyal dude to his core. I know that about him, and he wants to ride this wave. But hopefully management, for the sake of him and the sake of that city, can put some stuff together, put some stuff around him, and have the ability to get back in those winning conversations. And if you go take a look at the Suns roster right now, and I don't mean nasty, but like nasty players, but they're not positioned out. They got a bunch of 2 guards and they have big 4s and 5s. Like, there's no point guards, there's no threes on that team. So they have a lot of work to do this off season with not much flexibility. So we'll have to see how Phoenix does with that movement. Obviously, moves they've made in the past to get the Kevin Durant's and the Bradley Beals have left them really handcuffed when it comes to the draft until 2032. 2026, no first-round picks. 27, a swap. You get the worst pick of Utah, Cleveland, and Minnesota. 28, similar, but it's Brooklyn, the Knicks, and the Wizards. 29, no draft picks at all. 30, you get a swap with the worst picks again with the Wizards and Memphis. 2031, no first-round picks. 2032, they finally get their own first-round picks. So management has their work cut out. Moving west, and this hurts my soul, the Sacramento Kings have been the Bulls of the East. Nate, that's fucked up. I'm Ron Burgundy. I'm just reading what's on the prompter. That's cold. The Bulls of the West, the Kings. McNair. If you think about what the Kings have done, and I'm not even saying that the Halliburton situation, that trade had to be made. And I remember they were back and forth. To be honest with you, a lot of people wanted De'Aaron Fox to go. And when Halliburton left, a lot of people were surprised. I was actually working for the team at the time on the broadcast. But if you think both those guys are gone now, what do they have to really show in young capital? Obviously, they got some older players now that are a little bit older, that aren't obviously the same younger players they were before. So obviously out goes Monty McNair, and in comes Scott Perry, who I like. I think Scott Perry was with the Magic, right with the Knicks before they started popping. But I haven't, you normally hear stuff, and I haven't heard too much negative, or actually no negative about him. So hopefully that situation over there works. You're hearing Sabonis may be on the move this offseason. I don't know what you do. You got some aging guys in DeRozan and Levine that still got some left in the tank, but as far as that seems constructed, they don't have enough to get over the hump or really make noise in the Western Conference. Shout out to my man Doug Christie. who's the head coach over there now, and brought my man Bobby Jackson back. So they got Ebony and Ivory over there. Salute to my dogs. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what Scott Perry comes in and does. Because the Kings fans are some of the greatest. What is it? One playoff appearance in 20 years. It's been bleak out there, and Sacramento ain't got nothing else. Oh, they got the A's right now. I got to get out there and check an A's game out. If you look back with the Kings, I mean, they missed. I think obviously one of the bigger first misses that come to mind is obviously Phoenix and Sacramento choosing Deandre Ayton and then Marvin Bagley respectively over the third pick, Luka, and then De'Aaron Fox, a high draft pick, nothing in return, and then Halliburton, what he's been able to turn into, arguably top 5, top 7 guard in the NBA, led his team to the finals this past year, and hope you get better with the Achilles tear, bro. So Sacramento's in some ugly places right now, but hopefully they can rebound and get it back together. It's been a minute, but we're hoping. The Mavericks, Nico and Dumont. Fans have been all over Nico, but now they're starting to see the vision, what some fans are thinking. Somehow, I don't know how, somehow the Dallas Mavericks, with all that talent and giving up one of the best players in the world, bounce back and get the number 1 pick. That's crazy, but we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it's pretty much management's job not to fuck this up now. You know, you got to get Kyrie healthy. AD will be back. You get a young, they're saying generational talent. I love to see it. I love Cooper Flagg's motor. I love what he does on the defensive end. I think he's going to bring a lot to that team, a very versatile player. And I don't know what the limit for him is. I think the sky's the limit with his talent, his motor, and his skill set. One other bad thing, and I've been calling Phoenix on their bullshit. And another thing that came out recently, that the Mav workers were stiffed playoff bonuses, which normally goes around the league. It's tradition. Playoff money gets cut up. Staff and then staff gets money, and then normally players, we cut our playoff money up and pay the people we need to pay. But it was recently reported that the Mavs stiffed people on playoff bonuses, which is another representation of bad business. So management's job in Dallas is just not to fuck it up. You guys got a lot to work with for the sake of the city, for the dudes on the team, man. Management, get it together. Let's see what you guys got. You know, obviously with workers being stiffed their bonuses, let's keep in mind what Mark Cuban did. Mark Cuban threw $35 million out there and split it up. Like, Mark Cuban built that from the ground up and treated people the right way and was rewarded with the championship. So the ownership has got off to a tough start, but I hope they're able to rebound and move forward. Last but not least, the Pelicans. What's up with Zion? Is he staying? Is he going? Joe Dumars is over there now running things. They recently traded CJ McCollum and Kelly Olynyk for some future second-round picks in Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and Micah, how you say his last name? Peavy. Forgive me, bro. In the 40th overall pick in the 2025 draft that just passed. Interesting situation. Jordan Poole over there now. My guy, Willie Green, I think the reason, and people are saying, how come Willie Green's still there? I think the reason why they haven't fired Willie is because they know they haven't given him shit to work with, to be honest with you. Like, there's been a lot of inconsistency and players in and out and guys not playing and guys being hurt. And Willie is a good dude. I think he's a solid coach. And I think they're trying to put some stuff so he can really, if they could see if, you know, what he could really do. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Troy Reaver was brought in by Joe Dumars and someone who was with them over in Detroit. So two, you know, great basketball minds over there. DC guy. There's been some DC movement, obviously, with the acquisitions they've made. So I want to know what's going to be up with Zion this year. I mean, I think this is we think every year is a big year, but something needs to happen. He's looking in shape. I hope he's healthy. It'll be interesting to see if he's on the move at some point. They're saying a lot of big names can be on the move. So Zion has only played in 214 games out of a possible 492 in 6 seasons, which is 43%. Has this run come to an end? Do you stick with them? I don't know, because when he's out there, he's a bad motherfucker, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He's a 20-10 guy, and I feel like he still is learning how to play the game. This is just pure athleticism, speed, and strength. I think he's super talented, but the best ability is availability, and that's something he hasn't had. But this team has talent. I mean, you look at Zion, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, DeJounte Murray coming back, Jordan Poole, Jeremiah Fears, the 7th pick. There's some talent over there, so I hope somehow, some way, for the sake of my boy Willie G, and just being a fan of Zion, that they're able to figure that out. So some franchises that have been struggling of late, that I hope, they're all able to bounce back and be contending in the next few years. But that shit ain't easy. And that's why I've been saying, with all these new ownership, teams are going like crazy of late. I hope there's a little bit of hangover from a standpoint of people just think they can come in with no experience and run franchises and build winners. And that shit is not an overnight success. There's no more 3-star dominant teams. You need depth. Teams are built now, homegrown, draft picks, great trades. And a lot of these owners need to take notes before they jump in and just think they can do what they want to do because it's their team and they got a lot of money. The New York Knicks made waves this weekend. Obviously, with the coaching vacancy still up in the air, they reached out to the great Don Staley, which I think would be incredible for the game. One of the hottest seats in sports, but she's a proven winner on and off the court, which she's been able to do in her career, and obviously coaching. So I'd be really interesting to see if the league, what was the movie called with Whoopi Goldberg was the Knicks coach? That shit was good, and it had all the NBA players in it. Eddie, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It just reminded me that I love the movie. I'm sure I would love if Don Staley got the opportunity. So we will see what happens with the Knicks situation. But that's a wrap for this week's Unplug. You can catch us on all the Smoke Productions YouTube and the DraftKings Network. We'll see y'all next week.